Earth's oceans covers over 70% of our planet, but guess what? We've explored less than 5% of them. That means 95% of our oceans remains a mystery. From underwater pyramids to glowing seas and deep sea monsters, the discoveries we've made are enough to blow your mind. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 most jaw-dropping ocean mysteries ever uncovered. Stay with me because the deeper we dive, the stranger it gets. Number 10. Yonaguni Monument, Nature's Lost City. Alright, let's kick things off with a discovery that's equal parts mysterious and mind-boggling. The Yonaguni Monument. Imagine diving off the coast of Japan and stumbling upon what looks like a massive underwater city. That's exactly what happened in 1987 when a diver spotted the structure near Yonaguni Island. Here's the wild part. It looks like a stepped pyramid, with terrace, flat platforms, and straight edges. Some researchers said it's just a natural rock formation shaped by tectonic forces, but others argue it could be the work of the ancient Jomon people, a prehistoric culture that thrived in Japan over 10,000 years ago. The site is in a seismically active zone, which adds to the mystery. Was this monument carved by humans and then merged after a massive earthquake, or is it simply nature's uncanny handiwork? To make things even spookier, divers reported an almost eerie sense of calm while exploring it, like stepping into an underwater time machine. Fun fact, this site has earned the nickname Japan's Atlantis. But unlike Atlantis, this one you can actually visit, if you're brave enough to dive 25 meters deep. And while the Yonaguni Monument raises questions about the ancient civilizations, our next discovery might just prove that even the Baltic Sea has a few secrets of its own. Number 9. The Baltic Sea Anomaly, UFO Underwater. In 2011, a team of Swedish divers was searching for shipwrecks when they found something they weren't expecting. A 200-foot wide, perfectly circular object resting in the seafloor of the Baltic City, dubbed the Baltic Sea Anomaly. This discovery sparked countless theories and plenty of debates. Here's why it's so strange. The structure has grooves running along its surface and a runway-like path leading up to it, as if something massive skidded to a halt. Some say it's a crashed UFO, while others believe it could be a secret military device or even an ancient temple. Skeptics argue it's nothing more than a glacial deposit, a natural formation shaped by ice age activity. But here's the twist. Divers reported that their equipment malfunctioned whenever they get close, which only fueled the mystery. Fun fact, the anomaly's strange, almost scorched surface has led some to compare it to alien spacecraft from sci-fi movies like Star Wars. Whether you're Team UFO or Team Nature, one thing's for sure, this is one discovery that's hard to explain. And speaking of unexplained, what if I told you the ocean once made a sound so loud it left scientists scratching their heads for years? Let's dive into the next one. Number 10. The Bloop, Ocean's Mystery Sound. Back in 1997, NOAA's underwater microphones picked up a sound so loud it could be heard from over 3,000 miles away. They called it the Bloop. At first, scientists were baffled. What could possibly produce a sound that powerful? Naturally, people started speculating. Some thought it was a giant sea creature, bigger than anything we've ever discovered. Others believed it could be a colossal underwater explosion. The sound, which rose rapidly in frequency and then faded, had all the hallmarks of being biological. But here's the twist. Further analysis revealed that the bloop was actually the sound of icebergs fracturing and breaking off Antarctic glaciers. A little less thrilling than a massive sea monster, but still, the sheer scale of the event is mind-blowing. Even now, the bloop continues to fascinate and inspire. Books, documentaries, and even horror movies have all tried to capture its scary mystique. Fun fact, the bloop's frequency and volume were so unique that some conspiracy theories still argue it could be a creature we haven't discovered yet. What do you think? Giant iceberg or legendary beast? And while the bloop might send chills down your spine, our next discovery literally lights up the ocean in a way you won't believe. Number 7. Milky Sea Phenomenon, Ocean Light Show. Picture this, you're sailing through the dark, endless ocean, and suddenly, the water around you starts glowing. A soft, scary blue light stretching for miles. Sounds like a science from a fantasy movie, right? But this is very real, and it's called the Milky Sea Phenomenon. What causes it? Millions, yes, millions of bioluminescent bacteria light up the water using a chemical reaction called luciferase. These glowing oceans have been described by sailors for centuries, but the first scientific evidence came in 2005 when satellites captured one of these glowing seas off the coast of Somalia. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. The largest recorded Milky Sea covered an area of over 15,000 square kilometers, basically the size of Connecticut. And despite its size, it's an incredibly rare event, making it one of the ocean's most elusive mysteries. Fun fact, Jules Verne, in his famous novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, referenced glowing waters long before we had proof they existed. Spooky how science fiction sometimes becomes reality, isn't it? And while the Milky Sea gives us a magical light show, our next discovery is a little less enchanting and a lot more terrifying. Meet a creature that looks like it swam straight out of your nightmares. Number 6. The Goblin Shark. Deep Sea Horror. Now let's talk about a creature that proves the ocean can be as terrifying as it is beautiful. The Goblin Shark. Imagine a predator with a long protruding snout, needle-like teeth, and jaws that extends out of his face to snatch prey. Sounds like a creature from a horror movie, doesn't it? The Goblin Shark is often called a living fossil because it's been around for over 125 million years and hasn't changed much since. These sharks lurk in the deep, dark waters over 4,000 feet below the surface, which is probably why we don't run into them often, thankfully. What's truly fascinating is their hunting mechanism. Their jaws shoot forward at lightning speed, grabbing prey in an instant. It's like a spring-loaded trap, terrifying and fascinating all at once. But don't worry, these sharks are rarely encountered by humans. They are deep sea dwellers, and their eerie ghost-like appearance is due to their translucent skin, making their blood vessels visible. Fun fact, the goblin shark's jaw can extend nearly 10% of its body length, making it one of the most unique hunters in the animal kingdom. From nightmare-inducing predators, we're heading to one of nature's most artistic creations, an underwater river that defies logic. Number 5. Cenote Angelita, an underwater river. Alright, prepare to be amazed, because this discovery seems like it was ripped straight out of a dream. Deep in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula lies a hidden gem called Cenote Angelita, an underwater river that defies logic. Here's the deal, it's not a river in a traditional sense. What you're seeing is a halocline effect, a phenomenon where fresh water and salt water meet but don't mix. The denser salt water sits below the fresh water, and a cloud of hydrogen sulfide creates an eerie fog-like layer. The result? A river flowing underwater, complete with submerged trees and fallen leaves that add to the surreal atmosphere. Divers who explore Cenote Angelita describe the experience as otherworldly, like swimming through a dreamscape. It's beautiful, haunting, and unlike anything you've ever seen. But there's more. Cenotes like Angelita are deeply tied to Mayan mythology. They were considered sacred, believed to be gateways to the afterlife. Standing above one is humbling, but diving into one? That's pure magic. Fun fact, Cenote Angelita is 200 feet deep, with the river effect appearing around 100 feet down, so you'll need some serious diving skills to see it in person. From the mystical beauty of Cenote Angelita, we're heading to the ocean's deepest and most extreme location. Let us explore the Mariana Trench in our next topic. Number 4. Mariana Trench, Earth's ultimate abyss. Located in the western Pacific Ocean, this trench is the deepest known point on Earth, plunging nearly 36,000 feet. To put that in perspective, if Mount Everest were dropped into the trench, its peak would still be more than a mile underwater. At its deepest point, known as Challenger Deep, the pressure is intense, over 1,000 times greater than at sea level. It's enough to crush most living things instantly, yet somehow, life exists here. Strange, translucent creatures like amphipods, snailfish, and microbial mats thrive in these extreme environments. In 2012, filmmaker James Cameron became the first solo explorer to dive into Challenger Deep, documenting the alien-like landscape. What he found was eerie, an empty, silent world with strange creatures and a terrain that looks more like the surface of Mars than Earth. What makes the trench even more fascinating is how little we know about it. Despite being Earth's most extreme environment, less than a handful of manned dives have explored its depth. Fun fact, the water pressure at Challenger Deep is equivalent to a weight of about 50 jumbo jets stacked on top of you. That's a lot of weight to handle, and while the Mariana Trench shows us the planet's limits, our next discovery brings us back to the surface, where an ancient city was swallowed by the sea. Number 3. Heracleion Egypt's sunken Atlantis. Imagine a city so magnificent it was once a bustling hub of trade, religion, and culture. And then it vanished beneath the sea for over 1,000 years. That's the story of Heracleion, also known as Egypt's sunken Atlantis. Once located at the mouth of the Nile River, this ancient city was a vital port for trade between Egypt and the Mediterranean. But sometime around the 2nd century BC, a combination of rising sea levels, earthquakes, and unstable ground caused Heracleion to sink into the depths of the Mediterranean Sea. For centuries, the city was thought to be a myth, until its rediscovery in the year 2000. Divers unearthed massive statues, gold coins, ceremonial artifacts, and even perfectly preserved ancient ships. What's incredible is how well everything was preserved underwater, giving us a glimpse into the life and culture of a once thriving civilization. One of the most stunning discoveries? A massive 16-foot statue of gold Hapi, symbolizing abundance and fertility in Egyptian mythology. Fun fact, the city's name, Heracleion, comes from the Greek hero Hercules, who, according to legend, once visited the city. And while Heracleion reminds us of the ocean's power to hide history, our next discovery takes us into the realm of myths and monsters. Get ready to meet the real-life sea giant. Number 2. Giant Squid, the real-life sea monster. Long before we had proof, sailors told terrifying tales of massive tentacled beasts capable of dragging entire ships into the ocean. For centuries, the giant squid was dismissed as mere folklore, until science proved otherwise. The giant squid is no myth. These elusive creatures can grow up to 40 feet long, making them one of the largest invertebrates on Earth. Their massive eyes, some as large as a dinner plate, help them navigate the pitch-black depths where they live, typically 3,000 feet below the surface. It wasn't until 2004 that researchers captured the first ever footage of a live giant squid in its natural habitat. Watching this massive alien-like creature glide through the water was both eerie and awe-inspiring. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. The giant squid's anatomy is built for power. Its tentacles are lined with rows of serrated suckers, designed to latch onto prey and never let go. If you think that sounds like something out of a nightmare, you're not alone. Fun fact, the giant squid's cousin, the colossal squid, is even bigger and has rotating hooks on its tentacles. An evolution straight out of a sci-fi movie. From sea monsters to geological marvels, we've saved the most breathtaking and mysterious discovery for last. Let's dive into the Great Blue Hole at number 1. Number 1. The Great Blue Hole, nature's masterpiece. Here we are, finally the crown jewel of ocean mysteries, the Great Blue Hole. Located off the coast of Belize, this massive underwater sinkhole is over 1,000 feet wide and plunged more than 400 feet deep. Its perfectly circular shape makes it look like a portal to another dimension. The Great Blue Hole formed thousands of years ago during the last ice age, when sea levels were much lower. As the ocean rose, it flooded an ancient cave system, creating this mesmerizing sinkhole. Inside, divers have discovered stalactites, ancient rock formations, and unique marine life that thrives in its oxygen-depleted depths. But here's where things truly get mysterious. At around 300 feet down, there's a thick hydrogen sulfide layer. Beneath this, the water is completely anoxic, devoid of oxygen. This means almost no life can survive at these depths, creating a dark, eerie world where time seems to stand still. Explorations of the Great Blue Hole have uncovered the remains of ancient animals and even human bones, fueling speculation about its history and its role in Mayan culture. Fun fact, famed explorer Jacques Cousteau named it one of the top scuba diving sites in the world, cementing its place as a must-see destination for thrill seekers and scientists alike. So there you have it, 10 mind-blowing ocean discoveries that prove we've only scratched the surface of what lies beneath. Which one amazed you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you're as fascinated by mysteries as I am, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the wonders of our incredible planet.